What's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to the MPX Rehab. I'm your host, the hashtag certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host, as always,
the voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
And
are you happy?
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes, I am, because you know what? I don't care if you're mainline or not, still are.
You can thank Greg for that.
But either way, ladies and gentlemen, last week was Texas Infamous, and wow, what a change in the landscape we saw.
Yeah, we did. Couple of surprises. I guess if you look at where we're going, not that big of a surprise, but yeah, it was good. Saw a title change hands. So, but yeah, it was such a good card, and it's, I guess, become a staple if we look at last year of how good Texas Famous was, and now we're doing Texas Infamous, which again last week confused me because I thought we were just doing Texas Famous again. No, it was solid. I loved it.
Infamous. I liked that one better. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Texas Famous was a cool name.
But Texas Infamous, yeah, I agree too, and it also goes to I liked the new promotion out of Austin, Infamous Wrestling. It's such a cool name. Greg, I'm thanking you for having me say the voice again. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I'm always loud. You should get used to it.
Kyle's mic is attacked. Oh, Jesus. Yes, it is.
So that voice really rang in people's ears.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm pretty sure I'm low, too.
And the mic is blown.
But, oh, look, even Courtney was about to fight you. You didn't say it. You forget, man. We may not be doing mainline, but you are the voice of...
And it wasn't even mainline going away. It was just, I've had a rough month, so I was in my own head and didn't think people really liked me. So apparently people do. So, don't know why.
Look, Chris Fulmer. Wait, yeah, he said that. Courtney, I was going to fight you if you didn't. All that stuff. So seriously, you are like, people do see you as the voice of the addicts, and it is, that is what it is.
Yep.
But either way, let's go ahead and talk about the show. For the first match of the show, the card is subject to change. Live entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen, especially at Metroplex Wrestling.
And fucking Schaefer.
This was supposed to be a fatal four-way match with some of the biggest guys in Texas. I'm not talking fame, I'm talking just the biggest guys.
Fame too. But yeah, we were getting my house fight. We were getting four big men just beating the hell out of each other.
Four big meaty men slapping meat?
Yeah, I was told not to say that anymore, but no, it was great.
Wait.
And then
you were doing it loud.
Oh, I turned it the wrong way.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so,
sorry everybody, that's my bad.
Remedy unfortunately had an injury, has to dropped out of a couple shows. I wish him a speedy recovery because God, I love that man. Just the person,
a boxer fracture of all things.
Not even just the wrestler, but the person himself is amazing. And then, we're having Angel, Puerto Rican juggernaut, Bane Bailey, the weapon, and then Schaefer. And Schaefer was there. I hope the other two are okay. They had family emergencies.
Yep.
So hopefully everything's okay with them.
Yeah.
And then Schaefer got me. He looked right at me and goes, "You ready for your big man match?" I was like, "Yes." Because to my knowledge, I didn't see the post before the show. I thought Angel was still there. So I thought we were getting at least a triple threat. And then Silver came out, and in my head, I'm like, "But he's tiny." Oh, that's okay. We still have Angel, so it'll be at least you and Angel going at it with little Silver.
It's a one-on-one match.
One-on-one, which is still great because those two men have great chemistry.
I was going to say, it's like long-time addicts are going to know that match was going to be fired to begin with.
Exactly, and they have such great chemistry because of all the years they've worked together, and they have a good big man, small man chemistry, which it's weird calling Silver a small man because, well, he is. That's not a look thing. It's also just the way he wrestles. And
Look, the only person who can make Jason look like the big man in a ring is Hilda because she's a stick.
I think Chris Carter, too, could.
Oh, yeah, true.
Silver could easily become a powerhouse against Chris Carter.
Oh, God, yeah.
But no, that match was as solid as it could be because, again, the chemistry between those two, between the tag team wars, between the singles wars, was so great. And again, having the entourage there, the clique, whatever they're calling themselves, I loved it. Having all of them there. LP, the Turtle, Sapo, and Polly Paparazzi.
I love that. I love how much more Sapo was doing in this one. Actually, I think this, as much as people bag on him, he's not like completely horrible.
No,
he's botchamania fodder from time to time, but still, he's like He's not the worst I've seen.
Yes.
We've seen people completely without training on mud shows and everything like that, and you're going, why?
Exactly, and that's the thing. Once Sapo gets more in wrestling shape and more out there, it does just get better. Yes, we poke a lot of fun at Sapo, but he's not that bad.
No.
We've all seen worse. But no, I enjoy it, and I know it's mainly the front row girls doing what they do, but paparazzi got to pop.
Yeah.
Yes, Remedy is going to get Schaefer soon.
Oh, yes.
That is something.
And we are sorry you're hurt.
That is something that's going to happen. I hope a speedy recovery. Boxer fractures suck. I've had one. And it does take a little while to come back from, but when you do come back, that's going to be dangerous for the first person because there's a lot of pent up anger and aggression there.
Oh, yeah, especially since, he's just once again, Schaefer escaped his clutches.
That, and also it's just he was just getting back on track with bookings, and he's had to pull out of a few key matches. So, that first match back, that poor person that's in front of him, I kind of hope it's Schaefer, but I also don't hope it's Schaefer because Remy is going to destroy whoever that first opponent is after coming back from injury.
Oh, yeah. He's going to unleash everything that's just built up over that time. But, but the match between Schaefer and Silver, I mean, like I said, if you are a longtime MPX fan, you already know how good this match was going to be because Jason Silver, Michael Schaefer, since the Kingsmen and the bleach blonde, long-haired boys, Lost Boys.
Which if you've never seen the old pictures of Sky like that, wow. And now Sky will kill me. But no, it's, again, I enjoy these matches. I enjoy seeing the entourage more and more. Some people can say it's too much, having all of them out there. I enjoy it. I think it works. I think it would be kind of cool to see a match or a story where the ref kind of pushes them aside and says, no, only one of you can be out here. And they have to decide which one. Are you going to do the cameraman? Or are you going to do LP, who technically is kind of the manager that does everything? Or are you picking Sapo, who just, he's Sapo. He's there for Schaefer to do whatever Schaefer wants.
That would
Schaefer wants coffee, go get him coffee.
Have them do rock, paper, scissors. Sapo wins it. And the other two are like, what the hell?
And have Schaefer get mad because it's Sapo that's out there. Yeah, that would be great. But again, this is one of those things where it proves, again, what most people look at. When people look at Silver, and I mean this in no disrespect, they don't credit him. They think, he's going to die. Which, granted, Silver does die. But Silver is so good, and I think very underrated. He's been underrated for a long time. Yeah. And this may be a little biasness because I do really like Silver. He probably was my first... When I first started going to MPX, he was that first face that kind of got around, and it was like, oh my God, that's my guy. Because again, it's the underdog. Yeah. And it's one of those where every time I'd see him, I'm like, oh, he's great. He's going to lose and die, but it's great. And sometimes he didn't. I think one of the biggest
He was MPX champion for a bit.
Exactly, and that was what I was going to get to, is two of the biggest reactions I ever got was Silver beating Kirby for the title because he kept going and getting there and fail, and he finally got it. And the other one was when Baby D cashed in and won against Brent. Those two reactions in that building, I don't think I've heard a louder reaction. The addicts do. The addicts feel that too. Even new addicts. There's something about Silver when they come in. People love it.
I can name one.
Infinite Stock.
Nope. 0 MPX Addicts champion.
Possibly. I love Zero. That will never happen. And I hope
did.
As MPX champion?
MPX Addicts champion.
Oh, yeah. He was Addicts champion. Yeah. I thought you said MPX champion.
Yes, for a cup of coffee, but still, he was MPX Addicts champion.
He was Addicts champion.
The crowd went nuts.
They did. And this is not to discredit Zero, but was part of that because of CJ, though? Because of who he beat and how he beat him.
That's how you... I mean, we're going to be talking about this with the tag team champions. That's how you make mega faces. You introduce someone horrible.
Yeah, that's true. But no, it's one of those where like I said, I don't know. Silver's always been one of those that people discredit him, but they shouldn't. But I do like where we went with this because, we need to... I've always said the booking of Schaefer's weird. right now we've got something that we can book and we can legitimately push him to what he always should have been. And that's that monster heel. Even if he's got people around him, that monster heel that one day, eventually, maybe in 6-8 months to a year, gets that MPX title finally. This is a man who has had so many starts and stops as far as if we look at it from fans' eyes, booking-wise, to where he's the only person to really cash in the prospect title and lose every time. I mean, granted, it's only 2. And I know other people have cashed in and lost, but it seems like every time Schaefer gets it, it's almost guaranteed, no, they're not going to do it. They're not going to pull the trigger.
He'll even get all the way to 4, and we just know that it's like, it's not going to work.
Exactly. And so in the end, that also kind of...
It's the Bray Wyatt booking.
It is. It creates that other underdog. Because, every time Bray Wyatt was in something, you're like, he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed this match very much. Again, the chemistry is there between these two men. And I thought the finish was great. Pulling, not necessarily a surprise umbrella bomb, but kind of getting it out of nowhere. When he's getting him off the top rope, he stops him, picks him up, boom. I'm like, ooh. And the umbrella bomb is one of the most devastating moves. And especially when he does it to bigger people. Like, I always remember.
There's that video clip of Fitz.
I was going to say, I always remember the one he did to Fitz. Because I was like, how's he going to get him up? How's he going to do it? And he did it. And I'm like, oh my God. Now, a little rotated because Fitz did land all on his shoulder. Yeah. But it was so good.
Yeah. The face paint.
Yeah, I can do it without the face paint.
I could take it or leave it. I enjoyed it because it was very much him, but there's also the whole Darby Allin thing.
Well, that, and it is, God, I mean this in the most non-homoerotic way. Silver's got a pretty face. Like, don't go. I've never understood people that wear masks. That people that wear masks when they're actually decent looking. It's always been weird to me.
Well, okay, the luchadors I can understand because that's a cultural thing. But
and I think that's why WWE usually takes a lot of them out of the mask.
Send her pictures of the
that WWE does take them out of the mask a lot. That was if you ever listen to Eric Bischoff's podcast, that's one of the first things he said about taking the mask off Ray. He's like, it's a good looking man and he's young. Why cover it up? It's like,
for Ray, it's a cultural thing.
Well, and I was going to say, for Ray, I get it because he is Mexican luchador wrestling. That's one that you can't do. Andrade, take the mask off. Yes, it's a legacy and a historical thing, and I think that's why he'll come out with it, but he takes it off because he still pays tribute to that legacy. But he can take it off. But it's the same. Like my favorite Silver, which goes totally against everything I'm talking about right now. But when he had the Hardakis mask, because that was a vicious Silver, that was something different.
Yeah, but then after that, we had the MPX Addicts Championship match between the True Hero, Casey Clay, and the Reincarnation of Excellence, Kari Wright.
And even when my friend's not here, he pisses me off. Yes, this match is... I mean no disrespect, because I know people are going to take it that way. In my fans' eyes, I probably built this up too much in my head. These are two phenomenal, great wrestling athletes that, to me, just didn't deliver in the match. They were... Something seemed like it was off. It seemed like they both weren't...
It was lacking the energy that you would expect from these two. Because I was even talking to some people from backstage, and it's like, does this seem low energy to you? And they're like, for these two? Yes.
It did. Like, Kari came out and did his normal heel stuff. That all seemed fine.
Yeah.
Casey came out and he hadn't been that bubbly face since this new face run that we've seen.
Yeah.
He kind of came out old school Casey, where he's just like focused, determined, kind of conceited jock. Oh, this is nothing, I'm going to win. He wasn't that face we normally have been seeing. So automatically right then, I was like, oh, this is going to be a little weird. Like, this kind of took me out a little bit. And then the bell rung, and Kari kind of matched that level the same way. And it's not that the match was solid. It was good.
Technically speaking, the match was good. It just didn't have the energy I was expecting.
It didn't. And it seemed like they...
And I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed that, because I'm like, okay, I know I'm tired. Am I just seeing it through that lens?
Yeah, and it was... I don't know if they just weren't into it. I don't know if they were upset on the placement. I don't know if it was not enough build for them, but they didn't seem into it. Not that they didn't give 100%. They did.
Oh, yeah.
You watch the match, they gave 100%. It was still a good, solid match. They just, something was missing. Their excitement, their go-to. Like I said, I don't know. I know for Casey, for sure, him coming out, he didn't seem his normal face self that we've seen lately. Mm-hmm. Kari seemed all good and fine until the bell rang, and it's like, wait, what's going on here? And I do think one of those is Kari's time is coming in MPX, and I can't wait for it.
Yes.
Giving that man a singles title is going to be amazing, despite what people think or how much they hate it, which is good. You should hate it. You really should. If he was to win the Prospect title or the Addicts title, you should hate it. But it would be a good title reign. Kari is one of those talents that, while yes, he does get a lot of talk about, to me he's a little underrated because he is so good in that ring. He's so good charismatically. He's a good heel. He gives off that I don't care what you people think. I know I'm good. And I hate comparing them because they are friends in the tag team, but he reminds me a lot of Exodus when Exodus was first kind of starting out in MPX.
Honestly, I think of anybody, Kari Wright should do the old classic Gorgeous George entrance where he takes forever.
And he kind of does. If he did draw it out a little more, if he... I like the sweatshirt because it's a cool design. But if he did have a robe or a cape or something and like made the ref take it off, that Kari would be amazing.
But yeah, Casey Clay winning that one, and honestly, good match. Like we said, good match. Just was missing the energy to make it a great match.
Right.
That's all I feel.
Yeah. And like I said, I like both of those men. Like I said, I've been impressed and excited with Casey's kind of face run, and this one it seemed off.
And then there was the match that had the energy that brought everything back up. Luke Langley, Tommy Dean, the Tommy Becker in a triple threat match that was just so much fun. Because it was great wrestling, good comedy, good character work, whole 9 yards.
And you got 3 amazing talents in there. And I love the beginning where Tommy Becker's trying to get friends, and Tommy Dean's like, I already beat him, so what does it matter? And I was like, oh. And I can't remember who was behind me, because we had a lot of people behind us that made comments. I remember now, it was Cole.
I was going to say.
Cole's like, remember, Luke, the contract's for 2. I'm like, oh, smart. That's cool. That plays into it. Match was solid, great. To me, it did start off a little slow. Maybe it was the comedy that kind of took it out a little bit. I think comedy wrestling is fine. It has its moments and its places. And this one, it worked. Just for me, I think having 3 men who are some of the best at MPX just go at it might have been a little better. But no, I thought the match itself was laid out beautifully. It was great. The ending did shock me a little bit. It made sense later on with the announcement.
Oh, yeah.
But I am so happy that Tommy Dean got the win, because Tommy is one of those that I want to see more and more, and I wish MPX would push him more. And that is a little biasness, because I do like Tommy Dean.
Yeah.
I love Tommy Becker. Most people know that. And I love Luke. I honestly thought they were still kind of going with Tommy Becker, because that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
So the match itself was solid. Anytime you get a Luke Langley match, you're in for a show.
Yeah.
We're talking about underrated wrestlers. That man is one of the most underrated wrestlers, not just in Texas, but the world. I think this match
actually allowed him to come out more with, like character-wise too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we see him in the ring, he's, very laser-focused on the match, and it's an incredible match.
Yes.
Incredible work, but we don't see much beyond. He comes in, he's like got the Nick Fury look to him and everything, but then he gets in the match, and that's all you see. The match, the wrestling, the technical genius that is Luke Langley, and that's great. But this time we got to see Luke be, more of a character.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, immediately, Tommy Dean does his moonsault entrance, and Luke's like, I could do that, I just choose not to. Which I don't doubt that man can do. I also love that Tommy Becker is his chops have getting so good. After years of finally taking them, he's learned how to throw them.
All he does is meditate and think back on when Baby D used to chop them, and then he's like, okay, that's what I do. Ow, that hurts.
Yeah. They've gotten good, and again, I like, as much as I miss Ryan, seeing Tommy Becker on his own, being the star that we've all known he's been, it's great. The match was solid. Having Tommy Dean win, like I said, a little shocking, but given the announcement in the video later, makes total sense.
And then, speaking of shocking wins, we had the MPX Tag Team Championship match between the Boys and the Sons of Mayhem. With Hilda and the Sons of Mayhem, all three of them.
With Nasty Nick Nash.
Yep.
This match was good tag team wrestling. There was a slight debate earlier, if you follow Facebook, certain Facebook people, where tag team wrestling's kind of dead.
Yep.
To a degree it is. We've said that a lot on this show before. It is a very much lost art. That's why I love watching FTR matches, because that is tag team wrestling. It doesn't matter who they're against. They're going to force you to do tag team wrestling. And it's good to see the Boys and Sons of Mayhem kind of keep that alive, because anytime I've seen Sons of Mayhem in a match or the Boys in the tag team match, those four men, they get tag team wrestling. Now, there are slight things I don't like I am a stickler for old things. I don't like that we don't use tag ropes. That's just me. That is not everyone. That is me. But again, it's these four men know how to do tag team wrestling and do it so well. And it's weird because they're all so young. You've got one side who is a year in, give or take, and you got the other side that's 2 years in, maybe.
Well, okay, I think the Boys are a little bit started a little bit sooner than Red.
Right, that's why.
But they debuted at MPX at like the same night.
Right, yeah. That's why I think, like I said, I think the Boys are 2 years, and if you count Red with Jake, they're a year. Jake's not really a year, but Red is.
He's getting there.
Yeah. 2 months, I think.
Quick explanation. Yes, actually, there usually are these ropes that are on the turnbuckles that the not legal member of a tag team is supposed to hold on to, and any tag made with them not holding on to that rope is not a legal tag.
Right.
That is the official classic rules. Obviously, that has gone by the wayside for a lot of promotions, but that's how they were supposed to be.
Yeah, and like I said, the match itself was great. Having the Boys come in. I mean, and let's be honest, to start this, it technically is heel versus heel.
Yeah.
And I love how all four of these men.
But this is where I was talking about how you make a mega face.
Yeah. When you have all four men go in and listen and feel the crowd, and maybe they did talk about this beforehand, I don't know. But when they go out and feel and hear the crowd, and you see the Boys kind of turn into faces, and you saw it from the entrance when they came out, because the Sons of Mayhem are so hated, they got the cheer, because in the end, the addicts do love them anyways, even though they're supposed to boo them. It's one of those that depends who they're against. But when they're against the Sons of Mayhem, who are they're probably
Dastardly.
the most despised at MPX, they immediately gravitate, and you saw the Boys kind of click. When Cody was doing the entrance, you saw old school face Boys. And
I almost expected
great.
them. He's like, if it weren't for the fact that the music doesn't really fit it, I almost expected the old rock out thing that they did in their entrance.
Yeah.
I missed that. Sorry.
It was good to see all four of them kind of get on that and click. And again, that's what we got. We got what was originally on paper, heel versus heel. As soon as that bell rang, no, we're the faces, you're the heel, let's work this. And you saw Sons of Mayhem kind of dominate the match with either Gabe or Tommy be the dastardly heels, do the extracurriculars outside behind the ref's back.
Hilda.
Yes.
Hilda
my God. Hilda, and we'll talk about it way later with her later. But her development is so good. And going back to weeks ago where Jake had her press up and ref Carl said drop her and he dropped her, that move was beautiful on her.
Oh my God.
And then there are some moves, when done right, they look so beautiful. Her flying in the air with the Meteora, double knees to Jake was so beautiful looking.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tommy. You do an okay Meteora. That hers was better.
And that's the thing. There are some like shooting star presses, I think, are one I'll always look at. And I'm like, Matt Sydal's got a pretty shooting star press. Billy Kidman, who was kind of one of the originators, not that pretty.
No.
But there are some, when done right.
I've actually seen videos of Brock Lesnar when he did it. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was. And I think that's more of his size. But
yeah, true.
seeing her just fly in there and the way she looked and the way I don't know what it is. The way she looked, the way she molded, whatever it was, it looked beautiful. And the height she got, oh my God. But no, that match was great. I loved her interaction. I loved Nick's interaction with grabbing her, distracting Tommy, and then, Sons of Mayhem getting the win under the new tutelage of JD Griffey.
Especially with Nick going to, basically neutralizing the factor of Hilda by grabbing her and kind of almost kidnapping her.
And that interaction was so great because there were so many people that were like, this is a little violent. Is this real? What are you doing? And that was also credit to Hilda making it that way, trying to grab anything she can to not let him drag her all the way around the ring to the entrance. Everything about that match I loved. It was really old. Like I said, it was really old school tag team wrestling. It was great. And again, Sons of Mayhem, a little shocking, but I guess if I would have actually thought about it, given what we've done with JD kind of taking the Sons of Mayhem over, it makes sense.
I think we weren't expecting it because JD wasn't actually there.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think him not being there made that such a better win.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's his tutelage. Because let's be honest, say the Sons of Mayhem lost, they're getting their ass kicked by JD. And whether that's real or wrestling story-wise, they're getting their ass kicked.
Courtney actually has a good point there, too.
Yeah. And it would have, but I think having him not there, and because if he's there, obviously,
but
they won because of him.
He has had the interaction after to where it still kind of shows he's being the coach and everything. And I'm looking more forward to things that go on. I would love to see the Sons of Mayhem with JD defend these belts with a full Freebirds rule.
Oh yeah,
like have JD, in tag team defenses with each of the members of the Sons of Mayhem.
I think that would be great.
And have that interaction of him coaching them and like.
I would love it with
hell, I see Jake taking to that the best. Though.
Yeah, it would, and I think that's the thing. Red's going to benefit. Nick's going to benefit. I think Jake's going to benefit the most.
I agree.
But it's one of those. I would love the Freebird rule, even with Nick, just because one, I want to see Nick more. But it's also, and it's. I know it's not going to happen because we've already seen the pictures when they had the tag belts. It's only Jake and Red.
Yeah.
So the Freebird rule probably will not happen at MPX. I would love it. But I do like this, and I kind of hope the boys stay kind of face, or at least maybe a tweener.
Yeah.
And I
wouldn't mind them going face because
it's no longer Prince, it is King.
Yes,
it is the King of Metroplex Wrestling because the Queen's died. So
Gabe was trying so hard not to break just completely every time he did that.
Well, and I love how immediately no one really questioned it. Every addict was like, "He is our king."
Why not?
Did die. The Queen died. He is the king. I'm like, okay, that's wonderful. Sometimes the addicts are good, and that was one of the things where they hit it, and I was like, all right, that's cool. How everyone immediately kind of jumped on board with that, didn't even question it. The only one questioned it was Gabe, and then Gabe finally goes, all right, fine.
Whatever.
Which and I even asked you, I was like, so Gabe's the Duke of Wales now, right? Isn't that how it kind of works?
Yeah, he's the Archduke, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get political here.
What?
Courtney.
Yeah, well,
I mean, she's not wrong, but it's like we just don't want to get political.
That's what our show's never been about.
Yeah.
Some people think it is, but it's not.
The closest we get to political is we will call out bullshit socially. But, yeah. So, yeah, congratulations.
Mostly wrestling politics, not.
Yeah. Congratulations, #Andrew, on your winning the MPX tag team titles. May the Sons of Mayhem rule for a while.
That was one thing I did. I can't remember if it was in the match with Gabe or Tommy, or if it was the Addicts, but someone called Jake Shrek. I'm like, oh! I was like, we're not allowed to do that anymore. Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. But then we had, honestly, I'm I'm gonna say it. For me, this was match of the night. Brick.
Oh yeah.
Brick Savage, Barrett Brown. Damn. Just damn.
That match was. When you see some things on paper, you hype it in your head, and you hope it doesn't disappoint or at least match that level. This exceeded it. Brick is one of those. I still don't know why he's so angry at me, but Brick is one of those rare talents that just kind of jumps on the scene, and you're witnessing something special.
It's just
and going against going against Sky and Silver and other people we've seen him against. Yeah, okay, we see a little going against a. Can I say megastar in Barrett Brown?
Kind of Texas legend.
Someone of that caliber, 50 caliber to be exact.
Yep.
See what I did there?
Hey.
You're witnessing, okay, what do we actually have in Brick? And what we learned was, holy shit, this guy's going to be a motherfucking star. Not just in MPX, in wrestling in general, in Texas, in the world. Like, when he was on our show talking about Japan, I'm like, oh, yeah, he probably could do Japan okay.
Oh, yes.
After seeing this in Japan, I was like, that motherfucker needs to be in Japan, like, now.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, for the, I hate to say little experience, because when we talked about him, he's had experience, but he had a lot of time off.
Could you imagine him and like Okada having that look of oh shit.
Well, and it's like I said, my dream match with him is him and Ishii. Him and Tomohiro Ishii. Oh my god, they would enjoy each other, and it would be beautiful art. And that's, in the end, that's what wrestling is. It's an art. That's why the mat is called the canvas. It's art. One of my favorite things was when I was at ACW, and it was before fans are in or whatever, and ACH is there, which I hope he's doing well. The videos, not necessarily disturbing.
He made the top 500. I don't remember what number, but he did make the top 500.
That's because ACH is great, but obviously he's taking a step back from wrestling for personal reasons, which I get. But it was his first comeback after being released, and he asked the promoter, he goes, "Hey, what do you want?" And he goes, you're the artist, it's your canvas, do what you want. And ACH says, I love that. Because one, coming from where he was, you're probably not told that a lot.
No.
But that comment always stuck with me, because it's wrestling is art. And having a canvas and being able to do what some wrestlers can do with that is amazing. And I think that's one thing I love about independent wrestling, is there is a lot more freedom to create art. Yeah. Especially,
it's like people don't realize there is a difference between indie wrestling and TV wrestling.
Yeah. And especially with MPX. Like, yes, MPX has certain storylines and they have where we're going, but for the most part, wrestlers have a lot of reign to get to that point, or to get what we're doing. And Barrett and Brick, more than likely, and granted, I don't know, we're pretty much told, this is what we want, go do it. And Barrett being the outstanding professional he is, and Brick being as good as he is, this match was nothing but spectacular.
And even speaking about how good a professional Barrett is, Greg brought it up, fighting through getting hurt, getting his shoulder hurt early on in the match.
And on his own move. Yeah. Like, that was the thing that got me, was I literally thought it was one of Brick's power moves. I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. And Barrett's like, no, I did it myself. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then he showed the clip, and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah. Jeez. But, hey, it's like, it just shows that what kind of, wrestler he really is.
It's it is that strong style that he has taken to the New Japan dojo so well. And again, it's one of those where, I don't know if it's travel issues, I don't know what, but Barrett's one of those that if he was in Japan with that junior division, which they desperately need help in, he's a motherfucking star. Just for some reason, it's not there yet. And like I said, that may be booking, that may be traveling, I don't know.
Yeah.
But these four men was great, and I think it ended, because I was talking about this with either you or Greg after the show. To me, this is the only way you really could have booked this in. Yeah. To not necessarily make it believable, but to really push the dominance of Brick and not really hurt or discredit the megastar you have in Barrett.
In my armchair booker opinion, this is how every Brick Savage match should end.
Ref stoppage.
With the ref saying, no, they're dead.
Yeah. And which, I know a lot of people think I don't like the new ref. I do. I think
He's getting better.
It wasn't even that to me. Like his first week, I was like, oh, he's amazing. And then it was like you start seeing hiccups here and there, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's young.
Well,
same with Nick. Nick was the same way. Nick had a few hiccups, but then he learned and he got better and better. And I think this new ref,
Cedric.
Yes, Cedric is going to be good, especially given high-profile matches like this.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like, I mean, any ref is better than that one redheaded ref, Brennan. You know, he sucks.
Yeah, everyone knows I hated Brennan.
That's one of the few times Jamie was right.
Man, Brennan's dad wanted to kill Jamie that night.
Yeah,
but no, like I said, we probably cannot talk about how good this. If you can't watch the entire show when it gets released, watch this one match. And knowing Brick, because when we was here, he talked about it. He'll put all his stuff on his YouTube page. Go out of your way to watch this match.
Oh, yeah.
It was beautiful art. And like I said, I think given where we're going with MPX wise with Brick, given the name Barrett had, this is the best way to end it. What was it? 5 or 6 power bombs. Jesus,
just kept lifting them and bam.
And it wasn't even. And the first one okay, second one okay, but the more they went on, the more powerful they got. Like you heard.
Right, I knew it was the name of somebody who's actually in WWE.
Yeah, that's why I just go by Cedric.
Yeah.
But afterwards, it was that 5th or 6th one, the power and the sound. Even yourself was like, oh my God, it's that Simpsons clip. Oh my God, he's dead. Someone stop. Like,
but no, actually, that was my favorite part of the match. The whole match was actually because I had an interaction with a kid. Brick has got all the tape on his hand, so when he goes to chop, it doesn't make a very loud sound. Exodus had the same problem wearing the gloves. So it's like you get the power, but you
don't hear the pop, you hear the thud, and the thud hurts.
Some people just don't, it's like some people don't realize it's the ones you can't hear that hurt the most. And
that's another thing I kind of forgot: the moonsault off Brick,
standing,
not off the top rope, not off second rope, literally just standing. And again, we talked about it with Meteora and Shooting Star, just a beautiful.
I love that name
from a gigantic man. What?
I love that name.
6 to Midnight. God, that was good. It was only 4. God, it felt like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
No, man, that 6 to Midnight's great. That is a great name, and it makes sense because 6. That's beautiful. that man, God, and I hate saying it's a little experience because he does have a lot of experience. He just took time off. Beautiful, and he's one of those that when we talk with him and when you see it, he's wrestling smart. He gets everything about wrestling, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. But so Brick winning that one with a ref stoppage. Holy crap. And then we had the main event, which was probably actually...
You want to talk about what happened? Or are we gonna
right. You were talking about that earlier? We could...
It's up to you. We can do it now or we can talk about it.
Well, you brought it up, so let's go ahead and talk about it because after Brick goes to the back, he gets stopped by Tommy Dean, who says, it's like, oh, you think you're hot shit, huh? How about you take on somebody who's not afraid to die? Which my first thought was... Sky?
Sky
Jason?
But see, that was my other problem. I was like, oh my God, he's running through XV. Like, there's only 2 more members left after Tommy. I'm sorry, Tommy. Why? I understand you have a death wish. I do too.
It's like
you can't find anyone to do it.
After he kills Tommy, he's got the Bear Fighter and honestly the Giant Slayer. If you really look at it.
Well, that's
if we ever see him
if
again.
the cannibal ever comes back to Texas. So technically, he's only got 1. And let's be honest, that matchup, if we do build to it, the Bear Fighter is kind of the powerhouse of XV, which got him and Britt, and they've tangled in a 4-way outside MPX. So it'd be interesting, but man, Tommy Dean.
All right, I'm going to be doing that. When do we get the Brooks Gonna Kill You chance?
Yeah, that's a little personal for me, but it probably can't apply to Brick.
Yeah. We love you, Tommy. We really do, and we're so glad you're on this win streak. But you poked a dragon, dude. Not even a bear.
Holy shit! Really, Tommy? He says he benches more than Dimitri. That honestly kind of shocks me a little bit. I thought Dimitri was kind of the powerhouse, but
I'm not surprised, Brick. I'm not surprised. And I want to see that match too.
But no, I think that's. I love the balls on Tommy Dean to call out this monster. Which, let's be honest, that's what Brick is at this moment. He is a monster that is running through the MPX roster with ease. Like, yes, Barrett probably gave him the most challenge, but in the end, if we look at this back, it was kind of with ease, was it not? I mean, it's one of those where it's like, but yeah, Tommy on a streak, mind you.
He didn't even have to pin Barrett. He, kept just hitting him until he couldn't get back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Too late, bub.
and that's the thing.
Already doomed him.
Yeah, I think everyone already kind of had. That's the thing is when you look at anyone, can anyone really stop Brick? And that's a little bit what I worry about armchair booking wise is we're building him up so much. What stops him? And the only thing I can go back to is, and I hate bringing it up because it is still a sore subject, Bricks and Shaw. Bricks and Shaw was built up so great. And then Hardeka squashed in 7 minutes. And I was like, that didn't do him any favor. I mean, yes, he still won MPX title after, and he's still a great star. But in our eyes, it kind of killed him.
Yeah, it really did, and I hate that.
And so,
I mean, it's like if they had done it earlier, that would have taken the undefeated streak pressure off of the character and everything like that. But doing it the way they did it, of all people, honestly... And I say this as one of the hugest Hardakis fans at MPX.
Holy shit, yeah, I forgot Tommy's fighting Wes the next night.
Yeah.
God, Tommy Dean, you're going to have a rough sort. Your Monday is going to be hell for you. I pray for you.
Oh, God, Greg, please don't curse us like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no real problem with her, but they keep doing that. I agree with you.
I don't. Like I said, I think MPX... I think they do have a specific plan for this, and I'm waiting for it. But this match, and we'll talk about it way later, but Tommy Dean and Brick is, I think, going to impress people because Tommy Dean is one of those that you could never count him out. And while I think a lot of people, even us included, are like, oh, Brick's going to kill him, it's going to be more contested than I think it's, than we all think.
Yeah.
Do I still think we're going to continue Brick's hot streak and dominant run? Absolutely. I'm sorry, Tommy, I do. Is it going to hurt Tommy? Absolutely not. There are sometimes you can actually look better in defeat. But
I think if he offers the biggest fight out of all of them, he's going to have no holds barred. Ref can stop the match still because that's what a TKO is pretty much.
It's no holds barred.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ, Tommy, no. You're giving this.
Of course, yeah. No, there is that. There is that wall in between.
Oh yay, Barbie.
Oh dear. Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Barbie's hot.
But
just don't touch her. You'll hurt yourself.
But on top of that, we also had the main event.
Yes,
the main event.
The main event was great, and it's one of those where, again, and I've said it before, if you would have told us 5 months ago Matlock would be the most pop over face that we have in MPX, we would all said, you're wrong, fuck you. And he is. And we also got the payoff that I've been calling for a couple weeks. But no, this match, for as little build as they had, was so powerful. And I even, because they played the vignette, and I leaned over, I go, there's no way, right? Like they're not doing that this early. There's no way, because again, normally when we get vignettes like that, it's usually a title change, which is, again, kudos to MPX management probably realizing that. And it's like, and you even probably are like, oh, maybe they want to do more. Okay, maybe they do, or maybe they're like, oh, if we do this, most people are going to think. I'm loving that
we're actually getting these things on the MPX page and the addicts group and everything, because those are beautiful. I love seeing them on the screen as well, but it's like those should be the things that we see to announce the match that's coming.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
And it's one of those things.
And yes, Kinsey, you can tell him that.
Yes. But it's one of those things where it gave that atmosphere of like, are we going to see something special? Is this happening?
Yeah.
And again, Locke is Locke is an amazing talent.
Honestly, it's like my armchair booker brain was looking at this going, it's like I could see Exodus dropping the belt here because, maybe Exodus got signed by Impact, which that was a hope.
Yeah.
But, because he did impress at the Impact show.
Yeah.
So he drops to Locke.
Again,
Locke is celebrating it, and then we have Mikey do the turn because, celebrate with my bro, and then come out and bam.
Go to YouTube and watch Exodus's match in Impact. It was great.
It was
and
amazing.
We all
JD
know,
was in that match too, and he was incredible too.
We all know how good JD is. We've seen on AEW and Impact and other places before. Having Exodus on that big stage against Chris Bay and Ace Austin, two, I hate to say established guys, but they are people who are good. And then they have Exodus. And again, the thing I think I love about Exodus most is while, yes, his wrestling is good, it's his selling and his charisma. And that was on full display in that match, and it was beautiful. And that is a man who should be signed. Most people we talk about on the show, because we do love them, should be signed.
Yeah.
Exodus, for me, is probably at the top of that list.
But I think what I loved most about the match itself was we got to see a side of Matt Locke that he hasn't really had an opportunity to show before. He did the full-on mat work. It was beautiful.
That, and then also just a full face, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, we've never really seen that. We're like, he's kind of been that, all right, whatever, y'all cheer for me, cool. But this was the one where he would have Exodus down, or he would go do something, and he would be like, come on out. Like, he got into being a face, which is one of those where, again, I was happy to see, because we don't know exactly how Exodus or how Matt can do that. We've only seen him as heel. In most places, he's heel because he's a very good fucking heel.
Yeah.
Having him do that and kind of be the full face with the Addicts in this match against Exodus, and the chemistry was so there. It kind of shocked me how good the chemistry was there, which it really shouldn't, because I do believe, I've said it before, I think Exodus could go against a plastic bag and make it amazing. Like, he really could. And Locke was so great, and I love... like you said, he went to the mat work. There was that move. Exodus came off top rope. He turned and caught him into an arm bar. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful. I loved the interaction. Again, Sammy's one of those, like with Hilda, the more she's out there, the better she gets as far as, like, knowing where to be.
I'm hoping she goes to training and actually,
stuff like that.
Because she's got a good foundation here. She needs to, just like someone get her the basics at least.
Well, and it's
so
one of those where
good manager.
And I think for what she does, she's good enough. It's like Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth never had to actually get involved or be a wrestler to be good at her job. And I think Sammy can do that very well. What I really do hope is we get, and I've said it before, and MPX probably hates me saying this out loud, but I want where the storyline is going, because obviously, Mikey B finally showed up. And he had a chair, and he nailed Matt Locke in the head, which immediately because Dalton, you blocked me, I couldn't see if Locke got his hands up or not. So I immediately messaged.
No, he didn't.
No,
I know. I immediately messaged Courtney. I was like, did you get a shot of that? Because I want to know if Locke got his hands up or not. And no, he took it full, and I'm like, holy shit, Locke.
To the point that I saw them after the show having to clean up blood.
Yeah, because and again, beautiful. I'm one of those. Maybe I'm a sick fuck. The head chair shots, probably aren't good, but if they make something better, if it's good for the story, and the wrestlers are okay with it, I think that's key. If the wrestlers are okay with it, do it.
I'm just hoping he doesn't have to retire at 35 because
right, obviously, but. Yeah, like I said, every now and then, if it does it and it helps the story, which, let's be honest, it helps the story. It put an exclamation point on how Mikey is angry. And granted, we think we know what he's angry at. Maybe it's not.Maybe it's something completely different. Hopefully we'll hear from Mikey this week.
Yep.
Why? But that was amazing. And like I said, getting all to this is where he's dragging Sammy out. I really hope we kind of play this up where Sammy's caught in the middle. She likes Locke. She doesn't understand what Mikey's doing this, but Mikey's forcing her to be with him because that is his fiance. I hope we continue that, only to build to a match with them. And she turns heel with Mikey and causes Locke to loot. That, I think, is great storytelling.
It's not going to happen.
No, I know, and that's why I said MPX management probably mad at me because I've already we called this
Yeah.
when it first happened 2 or 3 months ago.
Like I said, I've told people before, I made jokes about, look, it's Macho Man Mikey B.
Exactly. But having that, I think, would be great. But again, I think the match itself was amazing.
It was.
If it wasn't for Brick and Barrett, yeah, match of the night. Having the turn, the fucking chair shot that I can still hear if I think about it because it was beautiful. Which, and again, I think
I almost didn't get him on the after show because he was bleeding so bad.
Well, and I think he bleeds easily.
Yeah, got a hard head, but he bleeds easy.
Yeah,
and a lot.
Although apparently, from what I was told by Matt, he pretty much told Mikey, if you don't hit me hard enough, I'm clocking your ass.
Well, that's what I was just about to get to. Is I love how Mikey swung full force, and I know Locke probably said, "Fucking do it." But the way he swung it, and again, full force, because we've seen some wrestlers come in and they kind of light tap, and that is a moment and a time and a spot you can't do that. Everything executed beautifully. Exodus facial expressions again.
Holy shit!
While Exodus is so good technically, what makes him amazing is his chemistry, his looks, his expressions, his charisma, everything. That's why I say go watch his Impact match, because while yes, I know he's good in the ring, it's his selling, it's his facials, it is charisma. Everything about that man has the makings to be a big time star on national TV.
Yep.
And everything he did in this match I thought was great. And again, with the exception of one fan who hated Matt Locke, the entire addicts were behind him.
Oh, yeah.
And granted, I guess a lot of addicts don't watch the show. They should have saw as soon as Mikey ran out. We knew what was happening.
Yeah.
At least I did. But again, even knowing, or at least, knowing what's going to happen, the way they did it was so beautiful. And again, I love the interaction with Mikey and Sammy and Locke afterwards. Of why? And he's dragging her off. It was great.
But that was Texas Infamous, and that was an incredible show. And I think a complete 180 for Kyle over here.
What you mean? Oh, from last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I said some things last week. You
said a lot of things last week.
Yeah, I did. I had a bad week. I've had a bad month. Had a bad couple months. Probably a bad couple years. Anyways, I've never left MPX thinking I wasted my money. And same with last week. I didn't think that. There were some things where I'm like, And again, hopefully Kid comes back and maybe I have a different opinion. Just seeing him live, like I said, I gave the example. Ninja Mac watching footage, I didn't like. Seeing Ninja Mac live, he's one of my favorites now. I love watching him because it made sense. Kid Bandit was the opposite. Seeing his clips, I'm excited. Seeing him live, something was just off. Didn't like it. And it's not just a lot of people are like, oh, you just don't like his Dimitri. No, that had nothing to do with it. Again, for most people, I know wrestling. If my friends lose, a lot of time I get it and it makes sense. And for this, if Kid comes back, it makes sense.
If he was truly upset about his friends losing, do you think he'd like Brick as much as he does?
That is very true. Brick killed one of my friends.
Yeah.
He almost cost him an eye. But no, it's one of those things where it wasn't the outcomes. It was, for me, and again, it's my own stupid opinion, having the title open the card, even though it was explained to me, and I get why. To me, it's my own stupid fan opinion. Your title should be, if not main, co-main. It should be later on. That's my own stupid fan opinion.
Yep.
That is something that has stuck with me. I always think your main title should be a focal point. Now, like I said, Kid and Dimitri, the match just didn't hit for me. But no, I've never spent money at MPX thinking, oh, this sucks. That's a waste of money. There's not one time, and we've had worse cards at MPX than last week, but again, I've never felt I wasted my money. I always enjoy MPX on product, and I think that's why I talk so passionately about MPX, because I love it so much. So to anyone I've offended, I apologize. Most people don't know. A few do. I was drinking since 12 o'clock that day because I had a real bad day. But no, it's, again, fine.
Pet the damn dog, Kyle.
Yeah, I did. Bless you.
Yes,
Brick is running through all of XV and my friends.
But speaking
Just
on...
keep the cannibals safe and we'll be okay.
Speaking on Kid Bandit, I do kind of sort of owe an apology because I got informed that Kid's busy. Really, really busy. Like super busy.
The hell you say?
I know, right? It's almost like they're super popular all over the place or
It's
something.
almost like you would have looked at his profiles and known he's busy.
There.
Their profiles. Sorry, I'm learning.
I'm not blaming you. But no,
I'm old. I'm learning.
I have been informed that no, we will not be getting Kid Bandit. There is a date for future, but it's a couple months down the line. But here's the really fun part. Here's the really interesting part. Kid Bandit.
Wait. Are you allowed to say this?
I am allowed to say this.
Okay.
Management has informed me that Kid Bandit has reached a deal with MPX management to be able to take and defend the MPX Prospect Championship in other promotions, possibly in other countries.
Which amazing.
Might be a little strange because, it's like they could get all 4 defenses with that, or they might lose. We might have a completely different MPX Prospect Champion that we have to get here to see if we can get it back.
I was going to say, if we could get someone from London to win that and bring it back, that would be amazing. But that's the thing. While I love that, I really do, I also worry about that.
They do? Thank you, Courtney.
What if something happens and we lose it and for a long while?
Well, if nothing else, Red's still got the other one stashed somewhere. He keeps wanting to, bring it back.
But he's got the new beautiful tag title. I doubt he wants to bring that back out.
But
I think it is one. It's great for MPX. Kudos.
Exactly, Eddie.
Kudos to the new owners for reaching that agreement, and also very, very brave on new owners. Because, like I said, say he drops that in England, say he drops that in Japan, or say he loses. Not drop. Say he loses. Now we got to reach an agreement to bring that talent in. Or, again, like you said, what if he wins all 4 and comes back the conquering hero to fight Exodus Prime or whoever the champion is? It's very interesting. The only thing I hope is, I know we'll see it online beforehand.
Okay, I won't lie. I really do want to see Brick Savage versus Kid Bandit just because the David versus Goliath.
Do you really?
David versus Goliath.
But you want to kill Kid? I thought you loved Kid.
I do love Kid, but I also love Brick. So there's
it's a catch-22. But no, I really do hope. Say there are some wins or even a loss, maybe that we get that vignette played at the
Save
arena.
that for After Dark, Brick.
If we get that played at the, we all do. If we get that vignette played of Kid winning or Kid losing, because a lot of the addicts don't really follow Kid on social media. A lot of addicts don't follow many wrestlers on social media, so they have no idea. Which you always should. If you like someone, follow them because you'll always know where they're at. But if Kid wins or loses and we get those vignettes and we get like a countdown, that would be great.
But so that's the situation with the MPX Prospect Championship. We'll see how that goes. I hope we get videos of these defenses.
Like I said, I hope we get the videos and vignettes because it is. I hate saying the word, but it's.
I'll see if I can talk to Kid.
Title.
Yeah. I was like, I'll see if I can talk to Kid and see if they'll be able to get some footage.
Which
and everything
does that mean MPX would have to mail him the little 2, 3, 4 thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. That's probably expensive. No telling where they're at. That might be expensive.
But so let's go ahead and talk about the matches for next week. We talked about Brick Savage and Tommy Dean already, which is why we're overtime already.
Oh my god!
So we're really looking forward to that. But let's talk about another member of excessive violence having a match, as Dmitry Alexandrov, the bear fighter, is going to be taking on the buzzard, Tommy Bolton. Personally, I'm glad to see Tommy Bolton back again. There's
Fucking hate. Okay, I shouldn't say I don't. I hate it because it does make me feel some way.
Yeah.
But
I have a bad gag reflex, so
it is very weird to realize that that's what the addicts picked up on. This match is going to be great because again, it kind of leads to the promo we saw last week of Mr. MPX is coming back.
Oh yes.
And if we're going by the video, Tommy Bolton's one of those people in Mr. MPX. So to see where we go with this match is going to be intriguing. And also we're seeing Tommy Bolton after his Texas Death match with Locke. How is he going to come back? Because Tommy Bolton's a good competitor. But he's going against Dimitri, who is one of 3 Grand Slam champions. Yeah, so it's
4.
Kirby and Dave, right?
4, because JD will hurt you if you.
Oh yeah, JD, Kirby, and Dave. So it is 4. I don't want to get on JD's bad side. I've done that enough already.
Yeah.
But yeah, so having Dimitri come in and coming off the loss of Kid Bandit, they're both coming off losses. What is going to happen with this? You know?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very physical match. If it wasn't for Brick and Tommy Dean killing each other in no holds barred match, this might be the most physical match on the card.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to it because, I mean, these two guys are already pretty heavy hitters. And so I'm just, this is going to be awesome. Then we've also got Matt Locke, fresh off his loss from last week and loss of his best friend. He's going to be taking on Aaron Eagle. And
he's the best. I did enjoy that post where normally he's like best friends and he took out the friends and it's just best. I was like, that makes sense because again, that's old mind Locke. Again, Locke was someone who came in. He had Dylan Smasher. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. I don't know why his name forgot me because I love Dylan. I wish we saw him more.
Oh, he's recovering. He'll be back soon, I hope.
He had a tag partner that he trusted. He got injured. He went with someone else, and this is why you don't trust people. DTA. That is one thing I learned from the Attitude Era, and I have stuck by it. You don't trust anyone, and trusting Mikey kind of bit Locke in the ass. We're going to see. I think we're going to see the old school.
He wore
Locke.
white pants for that, man.
We're going to see old school Locke. We're going to hopefully lose the white pants. We're going to lose the best friend's shirt. We're going to be all-star Matt Locke who comes out and just releases all that anger, which I apologize to his opponent. He's going to release all that anger on him.
And it's going to be Aaron Eagle, which means the addicts are going to absolutely love watching this match as Matt Locke just...
But he's the hero.
He's going to take him apart.
He's the one that everyone's supposed to
Seriously,
love.
we need to be chanting Rat Locke out of love.
Wouldn't that just anger... Oh, that would anger him more. Yeah, go
just like with Kurt Angle, the "you suck" means we love you.
That is true. This match, I think, is going to be. I know a lot of people have heard me before disparage Aaron Eagle. He is good.
Oh no, yeah.
Having Locke and Eagle is going to be a great. It's going to be one of those matches that I think surprises people on how good it is.
What I love is it's gonna be Aaron Eagle's like, you're not an athlete. This is what an athlete looks like, and Locke's just gonna look at him like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy hurting you.
He's gonna do your favorite pose.
Yeah, smell that pit. I don't know why when Tommy Becker does it, I'm just like, that's funny. But when Aaron Eagle does it, it's just like, smell that pit, bro. Smell that pit.
I still think the greatest thing,
Old Spice.
one of the greatest things Kinsey has ever done is that picture of Eagle,
the bald eagle.
Oh my God, that was brilliant. But yeah, this match, like I said, I think this match is going to surprise a lot of the addicts and how good it's actually going to be. And again, we're going to see where Locke's head is at. Is Locke going to be disappointed in Mikey and kind of be off his game, or are we going to see a more focused, a more angry, the old school all-star Matt Locke that we've kind of been used to?
But then we're also going to have an interesting matchup as Two of MPX's biggest tag teams are going to be represented in a singles match. The Texas Chainsaw Sky Lacrimosa will be taking on the new MPX tag team champion, Red Chambers.
Yeah.
No Jake this week, so.
We'll see. Just because he's not on the poster. We don't know.
We'll see. I don't know. No, I'm just...
But that's the thing is, Sky's coming off an injury with the eye, and he's coming off, a loss. And we're going to see how he bounces back. And you got Red, who's on cloud 9 right now. This is probably one of the... I know Red's won the tag title before, but I think most people would agree, and I'm sorry, Noah, I love you, but I think this tag team means more to him.
It's entirely possible.
So it's going to be a great matchup, and we've seen...
Because hell, even his tag team with Mikey and his tag team with Tatum was just kind of thrown together.
Yeah, and we're going to see, how this comes back. Like I said, we're going to see Sky. Is he fully healed from his eye? Does he have an eye patch? Be kind of cool to see. But we're going to see. Is it Sky wanting to be the murderous chainsaw that I kind of referred to before, Britt? Or are we going to get the chainsaw we've been seeing? Like, it's going to be interesting. And I think, given where Red is and where Red's going and everything Red's been taught by JD, we need that old school Sky back to combat this. And again, what if Jake is there? What if Nick is there? What if JD's there? Like, I know Dimitri and Tommy Dean are in the house, but they're a little busy.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Maybe we'll see. But then, of course, we're going to have the Addicts Championship matches. Casey Clay is probably going to have the biggest hurdle in his defenses of his Addicts Championship. He will be taking on the Puerto Rican juggernaut, Angel Camacho.
It's so good to have Angel back, and as much as I was looking forward to that Fatal 4-Way, I like having him back as a singles. Because Angel, if you've never seen him, it's very impressive. So this match is going to be good.
I'm so looking forward to this because it's like Casey's used to being able to throw himself at his opponents, and it works.
Yeah, and Casey's a big dude. Casey is strong and athletic. Can he get him up?
And give him half a moment, he will tell you about CrossFit.
Yeah. And is he going to be able to get him up for the execution? Or clay execution? I think that's going to be the big thing, is how is Casey, in all intents and purposes, and Casey may be able to do it. In my eyes, Casey's got to find another way. I don't think he can do the clay execution on Angel.
I think if he does, it's going to be like John Cena in the Big Show that first time.
Yeah. So what is Casey going to do for this?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then again, it is for the Addicts title, right? So
yes, we could have a new Addicts champion.
Could this be Casey's hardest defense?
Yeah, it's going to be, honestly, I think this is going to be the biggest barrier to his streak. So we'll see what happens. Make sure you have your tickets for this Saturday because it's going to be, already we can tell it's going to be a really good show. Yes. I'm looking forward to all the XV matches, especially looking forward to Brick versus Tommy.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now. I think that one's going to be match of the night.
It very well could because it's... out of everything talked about, it's got the most going into it, so to speak, storyline wise.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've got Tommy, who always wants to steal the show, and you've got Brick, who wants to steal the show just because he fucking can.
Right.
And it's no holds barred. Oh my god. We haven't seen that kind of version of Brick yet. And Brick hasn't needed that destruction.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like you'd think that would give the edge to the guy from the Tribe of Excessive Violence, but I'm thinking that's not going to be as great an advantage as he thinks.
Brick is a weapon on his own. Now you're giving him free reign to use weapons. Tommy Dean, I love you, and I will pray for you, but... God damn.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, get your tickets for this show. It's going to be incredible. Make sure you have your tickets all the way through the rest of the month and through October.
I was going to say October. They made a big announcement. We don't know what it is yet.
Oh, I do. Apparently, it was on the MPX Addicts page.
Was it?
Yeah.
Pass holder was the thing. Because I just saw the thing where season pass holders have a surprise.
You see, this is why you need to actually frequent the MPX, the Metroplex Wrestling homepage rather than just the Addicts page, because they announced on the MPX Metroplex Wrestling page that season pass holders in the month of October, they're going to start having pre-show matches, especially for
pre-show matches are coming back.
For season pass holders.
That's awesome.
So the dark match is coming back with a little extra twist.
I get paid Friday, so I can get my season pass. All right.
Awesome.
And let's not even forget, that season pass includes October 22nd, which is a huge card already. And there's only 2 matches announced, but it's a huge card. We've got Abaddon coming in, which I know people have heard me before. Yeah, I'm not that huge of a fan. But
they're
it's
taking on
Athena's return to MPX, the Fallen Goddess.
We haven't seen Athena in the ring at MPX since the WrestleMania show. MPX versus the World.
That's it. I was going to say Destiny. I was like, no, that wasn't it. But yeah, and also and I dare say it, she is the queen of MPX. She is one of the most accomplished, star-studded people to ever come from MPX to go on. And having Athena there is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But the last man standing, JD Griffey versus Palmer 2.
Well, actually, it's JD Griffey versus Palmer, like 7 or something like that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in this little feud, having them, and if you were there for the last one, that was not a last man standing.
No.
This one is. And they're going to do way more crazier shit than they did in the first one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And that's only 2 matches. So,
oh my God.
God.
I'm so very much looking forward to this. This is going to be awesome. But
yes.
Get your tickets for all of this. This is going to be awesome. And October's always an interesting month because that was when we get all the horror themed stuff. Woo-hoo. But either way, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back as soon as we can with the Warner sister to the boys, Hilda.
Warner sister? What?
Yeah.
Many people do not know any Maniacs references.
I know. Actually, what broke my heart is when I told that to Hilda. She's like, "Who's that?"
Oh my
I'm like,
God!
Oh God, I'm old.
Yes, I am very old. But no, it's gonna be.
I'm gonna have to do a productions job, aren't I?
Probably. What do I press?
I don't know.
Get out.
See you on Saturday.
Yeah, see, mark out, ladies and gentlemen. Right there.